this technology. So exciting. So how many of you guys have had more conversations with people? It seems sort of counterintuitive, right? That we're here in quarantine, but I do feel like the world has gotten a lot smaller, which is exciting too. So I really like that. I'm going to just make sure that this is working on Facebook as well. I hope so. Let's see. Am I live on Facebook? Awesome. All right. And then we'll get going here. Great. I don't know if anyone in the chat can check it out too. Oh, it does show live. Thank you so much, Kathy. I appreciate you. Okay. Just a little bit sweaty trying to get that technology down there. So what are we doing? Who am I? Hey, Donna, how are you? And what are we going to talk about this evening? So I just think that this is where we're having more conversations, such an important conversation to be able to have on how to say, what is your identity? And so I just want to say, you guys are showing up here tonight because you want to play big. You guys are serious type of people. You are the type of people who, want to make your dreams happen, want to make your Market America identity, who you are, build a legacy with marketamericashop.com. And that's why we're here. We're not here to play a small game. We're not here to play down to blend in. We're really here to have meaningful conversations to be able to stand out, to be able to make a difference. Not just make a difference in the lives, your own lives, but to make a difference in other people's lives as well, in other unfranchised owners that you've yet to meet. And so I hope that this segment can really help you do that. But first of all, who am I? I work for a division called nutraMetrix, which is a division of marketamericashop.com exclusively for health professionals. I have been with Market America since 2006. When my background was that I was in college when I started. I went on to have a professional career in pharmaceutical sales management. And I've done all sorts of things within Market America and shop.com that I'm really proud of with nutraMetrix, shop.com, building my UnFranchise. But I think what I'm most proud of is my relationship I've had with my husband. Been married to Dan since 2011, and I have 3 beautiful children. As a result of that. And life just could not be any better. We are really making memories here at home today, although I did send everyone out of the house so it could be quiet, so I could just be here with you guys tonight. I love social media. So I will end, if you stay till the end, I promise you I will give you something that is going to make social media a little bit simpler for you if you guys are getting tongue-tied. So let me know, is that something that's happening? Are you getting a bit tongue-tied right now on the internet with trying to introduce what you do? So if you're going to be a professional, which I know you want to make professional income, so therefore you need to be a professional, you must learn how to describe what it is that you do when someone asks, what do you do? And I'm going to also give you a little bit, because I do hope that you come to one of our nutraMetrix consultant trainings. So I'll give you a little bit of what we say here in nutraMetrix. Maybe you can try that out. Put on, a nutraMetrix hat for a day or two and see how that feels for you. And maybe you would like to, if you don't even grow with nutraMetrix, identify some people within, your Market America family, right? Within, your Market America organization who can go to a nutraMetrix consultant training. How's that sound? Does that sound fair? And what do you do if you're a health professional? I saw that I have a couple of health professionals on the call. I already said hi to Kathy Bear. My dad's here. My dad is an unfranchised owner, but he's also double board certified in lifestyle medicine and as an obstetrician gynecologist. So, we have some health professionals. If you're a health professional, let us know. If you are a nutraMetrix consultant, let us know. And tell me if you're familiar with this. Are you familiar with how we teach? This is the simple way to structure, how you tell people what you do, your I am, I implement statement. So that's how we make it very simple. Rodney, I'm glad that you're here and that you've been to nutraMetrix consultant statement, nutraMetrix consultant training with us. So it's a power statement. We teach you a power pose, but this slide comes from the basic 5. So this isn't even a nutraMetrix slide here. This is, you being able to say, what do you do? And the one thing that I have to say, all right, I've got to say, if I could give you this one advice, if the internet shuts off right now, what's the one thing I want you to take away? Is don't be weird. Don't be weird, guys. I've had people and they've told me, Sarah, I have this appointment with this really big healthcare account and it's in the middle of the day, but I have my day job. I'm a teacher and I have school during that time. So I actually can't meet them till after 3 when I have school. But I told them I was a nutraMetrix consultant. I was like, you did? Like, you are a nutraMetrix consultant, but you didn't say I'm a teacher, but what I'm focusing on is implementing, wellness solutions into health providers' practices. Now, I always tell people straight up from the beginning, I'm a mom of 3 kids. So if you call me, there might be kids in the background. I have a little guy even. I have a almost 4-month-old. And so, yeah, you're going to hear him sometimes. And I don't hide that at all. So I really like to tell people to be able to say, I'm a, fill in the blank. What have you been doing? You might be retired. You might have a former career. The other thing, and this is a picture of, my mom is half Italian. And on Sundays, right? I don't know if anyone else here has an Italian heritage or at least likes to be Italian on a Sunday with the big pot of sauce, right? That big pot of sauce that mom just is like stirring all day long, it seems like. And I want you to include your special sauce because you all have something special within you. And if you come to NC training, I really try to bring this out of you as well. What is it that makes you special? What is it? What is your special sauce? And to be able to add that in. And we're going to add that into your UnFranchise identity. So if you're an UnFranchise owner, I really want you to position yourself with your why. What drives you? My why has changed a lot since 2006. Starting as someone in college, I really wanted to have options. So I didn't always have to have a corporate career. Now I have options, so I don't just have to have a corporate career. But now my why is a whole different thing. I'm onto a whole legacy why. I have a big why. But what is it? What specialties do you want to focus on? What motivates you every single day as an UnFranchise owner? If you're a nutraMetrix consultant, are there other certifications that you have? Is there anything else? Maybe you have a background like I work with just this past Saturday. I did a training alongside one of our nutraMetrix trainers, Catherine Longo. And Catherine has a background in project management and organizational management with business. And that's really special. She brings a whole different special sauce to her appointments, to her trainings and as a trainer, which is very different than when I train alongside Susan Markowitz out of New Jersey, who has a really big organization within nutraMetrix, but she still is a registered dietitian as well, still seeing patients. So really add your nutraMetrix role to your description. And please, if you are a health professional, please lead with those credentials. You've worked really hard for those. And I can speak firsthand. I was born the same year my dad started medical school. So I know how hard it is through medical school, residency, starting up a practice. So you need to do that. Add the specialty, your basic differentiator, the mission statement you're on. People are going to follow leaders. They want to follow people who are going somewhere. But tell people where you're going. In all 3 categories that you see on the screen, tell them, what you're building and what this mission is. Now, let's give you some examples. Now, I do have a corporate sales background, so I could give you scripts all day long, but I can tell you what was my number 1. Does anyone remember? The one takeaway, don't be weird. Make it normal, especially right now. Check in with people. But, whether I say I'm a mom of 3, a former sales manager, a trainer for a healthcare division of a multi-billion-dollar company, and then the I implement is your tagline clarifier. So what you are, and then where you're going, what you're doing. I implement shopping annuity for families. I implement residual income for people looking for a plan B. I implement options for those who don't love their current job. And I do that. My why is to create a legacy for generations to come. What's your why? Put it in the chat. Let me know. What is your why? And if you're on the replay on Facebook, I hope you're playing along too, because we would love to know the diversity of the reasons why that people have. You know, in nutraMetrix, we teach you how to be able to say, now I'm a certified nutraMetrix consultant specializing in a clinically based weight management solutions specifically for holistic practitioners. We tell you to be very specific with who you're looking for. And I'll tell you why we do that in a second. But I want to just show you what we teach our health providers to do. Lead with that. I'm a dentist. I'm a dental hygienist. I'm a double board certified in lifestyle medicine and OBGYN. You know, what is it? Who are you? We have Danette on the call. She's a massage therapist with a focus in traditional medicine and natural health alternatives, weight loss and wellness. You know, my dad always says, helping people live so then they can die and they don't just slowly get decrepit. You know, he's got what he says, what he focuses on. And this is going to set you apart for your competition. It's going to allow you to attract patients who are looking for you, which means you could sell more product. You might also be able to attract more referrals of other providers who might end up partnering with you in nutraMetrix Market America. And my favorite thing is that my health provider team, you know, we all sit together in team seating all together, and most of them all have some sort of health provider credentials, but we're right there. You know, we were at the last major event down in Miami when Jamie Foxx made an appearance. I mean, it was so incredible. And there we were. You know, they're taking notes on how to build a shopping annuity. You know, that's what we're looking for, because their why is really big. Their why is really, really big. And they talk about that when they meet other health providers. So throw that special sauce in there. Make sure that it's in there. Really important. Yeah, look at you guys. I mean, some of you guys are, you know, former health HR professionals. You know, you might be now just a substitute teacher. So you might have, you know, kind of give a little resume. Some people might do that. That's fine. But I really want you, like Karen, you had a couple of things you're saying, like you're a former HR professional, a retired substitute teacher, an ordained minister. Sometimes like that creates too many questions for people, and they just want to know, like they just want to stick and put you in a category, you know, so it makes it a little bit simpler. I'm gonna expound upon that a bit, why it's so important just to keep things simple. When you give people too many choices, they're like, look, can I put you, what box am I putting you in? Are you retired? Are you still working as a minister? What was that? You were a substitute teacher. You don't want people to get off track. You want to be able to dictate the conversation. So part of this I implement, which I'm going to come to you in some further trainings as well. My next one is how to, you know, move from conversation to appointment. But, you know, we're going to work on right here how to make it so you have a clear message and you can control the conversation. I think it's really important to lead with your why. So I know in the statements I just showed you, we put it at the end, but let's see what it would look like if it was at the beginning. So you've typically been doing this and meeting someone and saying, I implement, and who do you know? But if you guys have ever watched the TED Talk by Simon Sinek, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. If you talk about what you believe, you'll attract those who believe what you believe. Come on, guys, help me finish the sentence. What do I always say? Your vibe attracts your, anyone? Your vibe attracts your tribe. And that's what this is. Oh yeah, I got some people that have been in my trainings before. This is great. And so when you tell people that mission that you're on, that vision that you have, they want to follow you. People want to be a part of a movement, right, Nicole? Yeah, you got it, Penny. You know this. And so they want to be a part of it. They want to buy why you're doing it. And so what if you actually flipped that around and you put the why in there first? What if you said something like, I'm on a mission to change our country's current sick care system into one of true healthcare. So to do that, I'm a nutraMetrix consultant and I implement revenue generating wellness solutions into doctors' offices. Who do you know who wants to make a huge impact in our nation's health? You can start with something as simple as that. It could be, if we were talking about, as an unfranchise owner, I think that we can right now today economically connect households to make sure that our buying dollars stay here within us, to make families have a legacy that they can pass on for generations to come. I'm an unfranchise owner and I implement something called the shopping annuity into households. Who do you know who's looking for a better way to shop? Whatever it is with people, when they see that mission and they see that vision, they're going to want to be a part of what you're doing. And so put that in there. Don't just put your special sauce in there, but also put the why. It's a lot. Don't be weird. Ask what they do first. Do that. Why? Because then they'll usually, if they're a nice person, say, what do you do in response? Have you guys ever, done something like I fly a lot, not lately. I haven't been flying, but before in this whole pandemic, I was flying a lot. Part personal, and I love to travel. I have lots of outside interests, but also with Market America, shop.com, and nutraMetrix. And how funny is it when you're scanning your ticket to get on a plane, you scan your ticket and the attendant that's right there, gate side, says, oh, have a nice flight. And what do you always say? Good, thanks, you too. And then you're like walking down the jetway and you're like, I'm the one who's flying. They're not flying. And I just told them to also have a good flight. What is going on here? And so when you typically ask someone, what do you do? They'll then ask you back, well, what do you do? Right. And so I think that it's great to be able to do that. And you might listen, and you might have not put in that you were a former HR manager. Or I might have said that I was a former sales manager and not touched upon my pharmaceutical background, let's just say. But if they start and say something, I'm a pharmaceutical rep, oh, well, am I not going to now work on controlling the conversation and matching and saying, that's so funny because I was a former pharmaceutical rep. Yeah, and being able to have this dialogue with them. And I also think that when I work with staff members of nutraMetrix accounts, I always am making sure that they're putting the mission statement, their wellness comment into the answer of what they do. Well, I'm a medical assistant at Dr. Wachowski's office, but we're really passionate that we're bringing holistic alternatives to a traditional medical model. That's what we're working on. And, patients that come here, I just love the work that we do, the workshops we put on, and the systems that we have in place. That's amazing because that's going to attract more patients to the practice. And so when you can work with people, and you can take this to motives, you can take this to web centers, you can take this to other people that who work in offices and maybe work with some of their coworkers. So teach people how to go ahead and talk about their mission. So, what you want to be able to do is when you talk about your why, you talk about your I implement, your special sauce, and then you add on what you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for nutraMetrix consultants. Maybe you're looking for health professionals. Maybe you're looking for people who want to build a shopping annuity. Maybe you looked at your organization and said, you know what? Motives, makeup is recession proof. This is finally the time for me to get motives into a leg of my organization. Teach people how to refer to you. That's what I'm doing in the beginning. Again, if the conversation ends up getting cut off, if we never talk again, I want them to know who I'm looking for. And this is really a great way that you can build through ABC pattern without burning bridges. A nice way to be able to do that. So if you can make it simple, make it clear who you are, the mission that you're on, what's special about you, and what you're looking for specifically. So what do you guys think? What do you need in your organization right now? Who is it that you're looking for? Who have you been asking for? You know, I'm looking for healthcare practices that want to boost their e-commerce. Rhonda's looking for people within motives. So I don't know, you know, if that means as a beauty advisor, as, you know, someone who's B2B looking for independent makeup artists. Or are you looking for salon owners, TLS, health coaches? You got to be really specific about what you're looking for, the type of people. I love this. I really hope that you guys are reading some of these comments so you can see. And I hope you guys reply back, you know, giving each other kudos for your special sauce, giving people, you know, saying, wow, that's really incredible. What, you know, your background is. Now, I was one of the youngest sales managers in my early 20s. I managed a team of 8 people in New York City and Connecticut. And we all got laid off in 2011. And that was crazy to tell people. Many of the people I managed were twice my age. And so that was a crazy time. You know, my sales management background really, I think, is a big part of that special sauce. You know, some people, I tell them, you know, between my job as the director of sales with nutraMetrix and with being a nutraMetrix consultant since 2006, that I've been in thousands of practices all around the country. You know, that's a big special sauce. So what's your special sauce? Is to be able to tell people. Okay, let's just lay this out here, because this to me, guys, is like nails on a chalkboard. If you have a job at Nordstrom, do you say, I do Nordstrom? If you work with children, do you do daycare? Do you do real estate? Do you do pharmaceuticals? It does not sound right to say, I do Market America either. So for everyone here who's on with us, for everyone here who's watching these recordings, you no longer are ever again going to say, you do Market America. Please do not say that again. No, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is why we gave you a new structure of I implement, that makes it very similar for you. You can say, Jason, that you do love the trainings. You can say, I do love the products, but please do not say, I do Market America. The other thing is, please don't word vomit on people. Don't try to tell them everything about the company in the first 3 minutes. Well, so it is an unfranchise, which means it's kind of like a franchise, but it's kind of not. It's more like a cross between a QVC and an Amazon.com. It's a direct sales model, but it's not multi-level marketing. And there's only 3 required trainings that you need: a B5, an NUOT, and ECCT. It's 200 BV to qualify, and your left and your right, 1,200 and 1,200, 2,400, 2,400. You get the drift. It's a, you know, $1,500 a week, but then there's management bonuses. Oh, and a whole other IBV compensation plan. What? No. We are not doing anything like that, okay? And you guys don't even know how many times I've seen this. I've been next to this. We've had coffee and this has happened. You know, we're not going to do that. We're going to really, I'm going to teach you, you know, something that's very simple that you can do time and time again. And the other thing is, guys, if you're not comfortable explaining something, you have unlimited phone a friends. How many guys who wants to be a millionaire watchers? I loved that show. You got one phone a friend, but guess what? You got unlimited phone a friends with this company. I love that. I love the whole fact too, that whether we look up, down, side to side, or to someone else, there's so many people that are willing to help. There's so many people willing to get on the phone with your friends, your contacts and connections, and explain things that you might be uncomfortable explaining things you might not really know a whole lot about. I can tell you that there's lots of times that I call up my friends and I say, hey, Dr. Deidre Mason, can I get you on the phone, you know, with one of my providers? Because they're talking about some big words, and that biochemistry, it sounds like Latin to me. And I think it is actually. There's been times too where, maybe it's my friend Dennis Franks who said, Sarah, let me help you. Let's get on the phone. Someone who's a former big business owner, one of my big guns. But it might be even just someone like my business partner, my mom. I've brought my younger brother and sister on appointments with me. They've been my phone a friend sometimes, because there's things that they're even better at explaining. And that third party credibility is so, so huge. So don't think that what I'm teaching you here with this structure of I am, I implement means that you have to be the authority in everything. You don't. You really don't. I can tell you I've built with every division within this company, and I just get other experts to be able to talk to the people that I'm talking to. And now with technology like this, like Zoom and Facebook and recordings and YouTubes, makes it easier than ever. So if you're going to be a professional, you must describe what it is that you do. We need to create your identity, because you need to have that practice to how to respond when someone says, what do you do? So can you guys do this with me? I'm going to read all these later. It's like love notes for me. It's like tips in my tip jar. If you go ahead and put this, put your why in there. Tell me what your identity is. Tell me the mission that you're on, and tell me who you're looking for. I'm really, really interested to see those whys. Why do you do it? How do you do it? And then people care about the what it is that you do, the 1200, the trainings, the what comes next. But I'm telling you, when you can nail down that mission, and the I implement statement is that elevator pitch. That makes it really simple. You can remember it as an I implement. I want you to throw the why and the mission in there as well. But the best people right now who are building any kind of businesses are the storytellers. That's what they're really saying. I mean, in all of the podcasts, the business trainings I do, the things that I listen to, and I think that this is a time that the world is changing. You guys know that it's going to be, what happened before the pandemic and what happened after the pandemic. But I took a walk just yesterday with my family, and we're going on a walk, and I think every car that drove by us, we waved to them. Every person that was out working on their lawn while I had the kids in the strollers, every person said, hey, good afternoon, how are you? Every person we walked by 6 feet apart that was walking their dog, we said hey, gorgeous day, isn't it? I don't remember doing that. I don't remember doing that just a few months ago. I really think that our neighborhoods are getting smaller. We're getting back to our tribes. That's what's really changing about what's happening. And in a tribal society teaches the rest of the tribe with stories and storytelling. And we're getting back to this. We're getting back to the storytelling. And the leaders who are going to emerge after this are going to be the ones who can tell the best stories, because that makes us feel so much closer. When it's so personal to you, we actually relate to it a lot better. But you have to learn how to tell a good story. It can't be a story that in the beginning, it has a lot of different choices, where you say to someone, well, years ago, I, went to college and I met someone in college and we got married. Well, in fact, that didn't work out, but I met someone new and it's going great. But it was the fact I lost my job. That was back in, 2008, when everyone lost their jobs. It was fine. I didn't really like the job anyways. And so I don't know, a friend called me one day and asked me to evaluate an UnFranchise, and it's been great. It's been going really well for me. How many of you guys have heard people tell a story like that? And you're like trying to follow this story. I have 3 kids, so I tell a lot of fairy tales. We read a lot of books, and they're all the same. Help me out, guys. Once upon a time, you guys know this, in a faraway land, there was, and it's either a princess or a damsel in distress, typically. My oldest is 6, so we got a lot of girl books. So we're not going to be sexist here in the comments. We're just going to go with the fact that I got more girl books in the house right now than boy books. So it's always a princess or a damsel in distress, right? That we're setting the stage. We're telling you when this happens. Once upon a time in a faraway land, there was, we'll go with the princess. What's the problem? Well, there's always this problem that's up here, right? It's a couple things it could be. It could be a dragon. It could be a spell. It could be, like a witch. We'll go with the witch. So far away in a land, once upon a time, princess, witch. This is the problem. It's always a big problem with the witch. What's the solution? Well, the solution typically in our stories is the white knight that comes running in. The white knight that slays the witch, reverses the spell, gets rid of the dragon. And then they get together and they live happily ever after. Correct? Right? Okay. All right. So I'm gonna teach you guys how this works with my story. So if we look at 2011, I was a newlywed. I was a sales manager of 8 people in the kingdom of New York City, greater New York City area. One day on July 2011, I got a phone call that the entire company, we were all laid off. I had to call 8 people and tell them they no longer had a job. That's the witch, that's the dragon right there. All right. But I was very fortunate that I had worked on another plan that I had set up in college. This was a system called the UnFranchise. I had that and I was still able to go to work, and I was able to build within a division called nutraMetrix. And now I am on a mission to be able to help other people have a plan B before they need one. How did that sound? Did you see how that followed that fairy tale structure? I really think it helps when you use the voice that you would use to a 6-year-old. So I really want you guys to practice your story like that. I want you to practice where your faraway land is once upon a time. When was that? Pick one time. And then, as they say in showbiz, guys, cut to the chase. And what do they mean by that? Well, they mean by that, like in any of those movies like Fast and the Furious or Mission Impossible, it starts with a car chase. You don't care. You don't care if the guy and girl are dating, the guy or girl are married, the guy or girl don't even know each other. You got all the players figured out in the first 45 seconds of that movie with that car chase. You don't need all the details. I can tell you guys, when you're telling your stories right now, you're telling far too many details. Cut out all the details. If you practice over the next few days telling your story in this fairy tale format, I can tell you're going to get a lot better at it to be able to cut to the chase of the problem so you have enough time and you hold people's attention to tell them the solution. Tell them where you're going. Tell them what that happily ever after is for you and the people who work with you. I think that that's really important. Okay, I told you guys in my last couple minutes here as we wrap up, because a lot of you are doing this on Facebook, slightly different on Facebook. And I'm so glad that you're using Facebook as a platform. I think that that is incredible because there are billions of users on Facebook. This is a huge market. So this is a really good place to be able to practice, to be able to mess up a few times, get into some groups, get into some communities, meet some people, try out your new story that we've worked on, try out your I implement. Insider tip, ask them what they do first, okay? Don't forget that. All right, there's 100 million hours of Facebook videos every day. There's a reason why we're doing these simultaneous broadcasts on Facebook. And a Facebook video reaches 135% more than in organic reach than a photo. And videos are 6 times more likely to be shared. How about this whole TikTok movement, right? It's all video. We're going all to video. So you got to get comfortable on video. And this is my last slide for you guys. You might want to take a picture of this. You might want to write this down because this is going to be a little bit different. what I want you to do if you're doing a Facebook Live, if you're trying to do a video, and I did this at the beginning, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I called out a pain point. I said, I'm looking for people who want to play big, who don't just want to look like they're small and blend in. So what is this? How to blank without blank. So let's do this. Let's do this with motives. How to have great eyebrows without having to go see your eyebrow specialist, your threader. Well, we all have to do social distancing. All right. Not everyone on this call might know what threading is. So I'll give you another example. Let's do TLS. How to get your quarantine body back in shape without going on a crash diet. How about that? Get lean during quarantine. So that's your calling out a pain point. No one wants to diet. Who are you? What's your special sauce? Well, my name's Sarah Tugender, and I have been coaching people how to lose the weight and keep it off forever, starting with my Italian grandma, who never thought she'd be able to give up her Italian loaves of white bread every single week she'd buy at the supermarket, as she says in the Boston area. And I've helped many people and gone on to actually teach health providers how to do this. That's my special sauce. Then you want to tell them what you're going to tell them. Tell them the context. I'm going to tell you about a special group we have going on right now, getting lean towards in quarantine. And I am going to give you, the 4 things you need to do to be able to, get that body that you want without having to diet. So they know they're staying here for 4 things. Learn how to ditch the diets so you feel great and look great and don't need to diet again. Wow, Jerry's telling me someone I've worked with years ago lost over 100 pounds. Wow, and working with me was at the beginning. I'm super proud of Gordon, Jerry. Thank you for sharing that with me. And then you're going to give them what you got. So we're going to talk about the 4 things: low glycemic impact eating, target supplementation, moving your mass, and education, right? So that's what we're going to talk about. And the call to action is to get your Jumpstart kit so you can join our Facebook group, Get Lean During Quarantine. So you can do this for any of our majors. You could do this for nutraMetrix. I'm talking to today health providers that had to close their doors and right now aren't bringing in any income, but still have all those expenses. I am going to teach you how to go ahead and bring in some income right now without having to open your doors. Who am I? Well, I'm the director of sales for a $40 million division of a $1 billion company. My division that I work with is called nutraMetrix Custom Health Solutions. I've been working with practices since 2006, thousands of practices all over the country. I have something that has really gotten providers back off the ground right now. And so I want to teach you how you can get a simple e-commerce solution so you can start, working with your patients again today, despite not being able to see them in practice. How do you want to do that? Well, let's set up a real quick discovery call. That's what I do. The first step is just to see if you qualify for what we have. I call it a discovery meeting. It's 15 minutes. Go ahead and drop me a DM and let's do that. That's how I would structure a Facebook Live video. So it's really simple. Take a screenshot of this. Tag me in your videos if you do any videos on the internet. I'd love to see them. That would be great. Sarah with an H, Tugender. I hope that we're friends and we can follow this together. And I just want to come to you guys and just say that I'm doing this because there's going to be 2 types of people that are really emerging in this time right now. There's going to be those that are saying, there's a lot of content already out there on the internet. Why do they want to hear from me? It's much easier to rewatch the whole series of Tiger King again on Netflix. It's much easier to rearrange the shoes in my closet. It's much easier, to learn how to be a TikTok star. I think I'm just going to sit back and, hide a little bit and let everyone else do their thing during this time. Or there's the other group of people, and those are the people that are going to say, I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I'm going to be some people's cup of tea. There's people out there that need me. There's people out there that they're going to resonate a little bit more with my message than the other messages that are out there, right? I mean, why is it? You look through, we have everything on demand these days. We have YouTubes, we have Instagram stories, we have Netflix and Hulu and YouTube TV and everything that we could watch. Why is it that there's, people here that are tuning into me tonight? Not everyone in the world is, but we don't need everyone in the world. That's what makes this system so incredible. It really does. Fred saying he needs me. Fred, there's people that need you. They need you too. And so, I hope you guys can show up, and I hope that these little simple things to be able to get you to create your identity and start the conversation, that's all we need you to do. We just need you to start. We need you to reach out, and we have to reach out virtually. And so you have to make it as personal as possible. So I'm really excited to hear about your success stories. I'm really excited for you to get started. And please let me know how that goes. And join me for my next training. You'll have to look on the Market America page because I can't remember right now what day it is. But I'm going to tell you how to go then from conversation to an appointment. And so we'll continue that conversation together, but I'm sure there's other things there. Thank you, everyone. And I hope you have a great night. Thanks for hanging out with me.